Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Ohio Tech Report presented by Zendesk. We're really excited that you're here. We have three great stories per usual, but we have a special co-host, a special guest today. Nicole, if you could just introduce yourself, tell us what you do, what part of the state you're in, and then we'll kind of dig into some of our stories.
Sure, sounds great. Thanks for having me, Chris. My name is Nicole McCaffrey, and I am the COO and resident AI translator at Pandata. We are an AI design and development firm that's located in Cleveland. We really put a heavy focus on trusted AI that's built for humans. And I think that's why all of your headlines today were really piquing my interest. So I'm excited to chat with you on these.
We'll dive in, and I'm sure we'll have a ton to talk about. And as I mentioned, before we do these, it's always the toughest to keep it to about 8 or 9 minutes max. But we'll hop right in. But the first one, Nicole, is a really big announcement earlier this week out of Cincinnati. And so in the headlines recently for about the past almost coming up on 2 years, about a year and a half or so, is the Cincinnati Innovation District and all that the University of Cincinnati, a bunch of the businesses down in southwestern Ohio, building this physical innovation district on UC's campus. But what's really cool is this week, there was a big announcement that the Innovation District and Jobs Ohio, the state, they're going to put together a big investment to help attract minority startups. And so this is led by Lightship Foundation, which is led by Candace Matthews Bracken. She's the founder and executive director, and they invest in startups and kind of entrepreneurs. And it's fantastic. It's like 60,000 square feet. The governor, the lieutenant governor, Jobs Ohio, they were all there. But just another commitment to building our innovation and entrepreneurial hubs, but doing it with this, in this case, a big investment and focus helping minority-led startups.
Yeah, I mean, as you well know, I have a passion around STEM education and promoting career pathways. So, you know, I suppose, especially where it comes to, diversity, especially with minorities and women and promoting, innovative and STEM focused careers. So I really applaud what they're doing in the Innovation District. It's, with more diversity comes more points of view, which leads to more and better innovation. So, in my mind, there's nothing more damaging to society than the phrase "we've always done it this way." So,
Absolutely.
yeah, love what they're doing. Very cool.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And what a good kind of lightship foundation, but what a good flagship to kind of showcase within Ohio, outside of Ohio, that we're open, we're welcoming, and this is a great place for everyone of all backgrounds to do it. But we'll go on to our second one. We're going to head up about 4.5 hours to your part of the state, in Cleveland off I-71. But Ernst & Young, EY, and Nottingham Spirk, they opened a new innovation hub in Cleveland. And so this is a partnership between two private companies and organizations. Theirs is the 60,000 square foot facility, but they're kind of taking design, kind of digital automation, and building this kind of innovation ecosystem between a global leader, EY, and one of Cleveland's kind of innovation leaders in Nottingham Spirk. But kind of a cool thing up in your part of the state.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just want to go and tour this facility. It sounds amazing. Um, I guess Ohio never ceases to amaze me with the amount of innovation and tech forwardness that we have here. And I mean, I look at the work you're doing, even with Ohio X, and you're really bringing all of these, different parts of the state together. And this is all amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool
So,
stuff. It
yeah.
really is. And to, kind of use a local kind of leader in this, Nottingham Spirk, and then you kind of bringing the global work that EY does. It's cool when those types of things can be combined and taking, again, something very specific to Ohio and something that's, a national and international brand. But our third one, another one up in your part, couple great organizations, JumpStart and Verizon. They're going to be teaming up to launch digital learning centers for Cleveland residents. And there's a couple of our partners that we know, Jessica Cohen, shout out to them,
Yep.
and Verizon for helping lead this, and Cranes. I saw her quote, which was awesome to see. But this digital learning center program will provide K through 12 students with STEM education, adults with digital literacy training, and both high school students and adults with workforce development and entrepreneurship learning activities. So I know, Nicole, you, and again, you mentioned it in the beginning with your comments, the team, your passion for this type of stuff, and you've partnered with Verizon and some of the groups up there on Ohio Tech Day programming. But another cool example of kind of the, helping with digital skills and entrepreneurship and giving everyone a shot.
Yeah, and I mean, this goes a long way in helping to close the technology talent gap in this state. It's still an issue, and aside from the actual STEM programs, it's just the technology literacy piece that's so important. Educating people on how to apply for jobs, how to write a resume, even how to write a cover letter. These are all skills that are really underrated and not often thought of when we're talking about growing technology talent. There are a lot of people who don't have their own computer, may have to go to a library. So having these types of programs is so important to setting the foundation
Yeah,
for
and
the whole advancement of technology in the state.
absolutely, and it's almost, we've for years we've heard financial literacy, which, obviously important and it remains so, but that digital literacy, we're all
Uh-huh.
using tech. I mean, the pandemic is that perfect example where, we wouldn't have been doing this probably pre-COVID, and even more so digital learning at home for school, things like even telehealth, and
Right.
as we had to sign up for, our COVID shots. How many stories were there of, older Ohioans, older Americans that, didn't know how to navigate, or, weren't familiar, or didn't have computers at home. And, it's literally that foundation, which is so cool to kind of see these investments and these partnerships. But Nicole, that's our three stories. Goes by
Yeah.
incredibly quick. Why don't you kind of, any final thoughts from the AI world, from Pandata's world? Anything you got coming up or going on that you want to kind of brag about or share? Kind of
Um,
give you the final comment.
Yeah, so we are actually going to be next month in November the diversity and inclusion sponsor at the Open Data Science Conference on the West Coast. So, as you know, we are enormous advocates for mitigating bias and ethical and fair AI and diversity in AI. So, we're really excited to go and to brag a little bit about the work that we're doing in Ohio,
Yeah.
to promote that. So
That's awesome. Big topic.
yeah,
And it's, as you mentioned, I'm glad, bragging on Ohio and taking the Ohio Tech success story of your company and Cal and the whole team, and taking it to the West Coast where people, you know, uh, that's that thing we're all working on to kind of raise the profile of tech in Ohio. And you all are certainly at the list. But Nicole, thank you so much. I want to thank our viewers this week. Again, this is the Ohio Tech Report presented by Zendesk. Incredibly great for their sponsorship and support to help make this series and sharing tech in Ohio possible. So have a great weekend, everyone, and we will see you all next week. Bye bye.